Now coming into the day, overall I had a pretty neutral bias, but I was leaning more short-term bearish. As you can see that we've just swept buy-side liquidity with a bearish SMT, and we are still currently inside of this daily bearish fair value gap. From here, you can see that we retrace lower, where we are now inside of a 2-hour bullish fair value gap. So my current drawn liquidity was this data low, and if this 2-hour bullish fair value gap got disrespected, then I wanted to see quite a retracement lower to our draws on liquidity, such as this intermediate term low. Now, as you can see, right at market open, we end up sweeping this data low, and then we expand higher. So if I want to be bearish, I do not want this sell side to be manipulated. I want price to add more targets below for when price manipulates higher. As you can see, after sweeping sell side, we start to manipulate higher, where we now sweep this internal buy side liquidity inside of this 1-hour bearish fair value gap. From here, I was actually very open to looking for a short position. As you can see, we also hit a new 30-minute unmitigated gap above, being this one right here. So we are now rejecting off of a new unmitigated PDA. From here, we ended up getting a 30-second short right here. I think that this is overall a very nice setup, and honestly, I kind of hesitated it. It was a little quick after entry, it just immediately ran, but also I had my opinion on after hitting this 30-minute gap. If a 30-minute bearish fair value gap is going to beat a 2-hour bullish gap, then I want this to be truly confirmed, and a 30-second inversion wasn't quite enough to confirm this. Therefore, I was kind of stuck, and I wanted to wait for this 3-minute to get disrespected to then target London lows. As you can see, after this triggers, it ends up taking the internal sell side liquidity, therefore taking the break-even point, so it was invalid. So shortly after we sweep internal sell side liquidity once again, we end up getting a 2-minute inversion here. I really did not like this trade whatsoever. First of all, as I said, I don't want to be longing so high in premium here, and my overall draw on liquidity was lower. Also, you can see that when you are taking a long position here, you are longing against this massive 1-hour rejection wick, where this 1-hour bearish fair value gap is still getting respected. I really didn't like it. If you were super bullish, then I think it's a good trade, but personally, I was kind of just confused overall with the narrative here, and I thought that this 2-minute inversion really didn't confirm anything for me. Therefore, I sat out of this one. Now, shortly after, we end up creating and tapping into a 15-minute bullish fair value gap, where we get a beautiful V-shape 5-minute IFVG out of it. I did not end up taking this setup for a couple reasons. The first reason is that we do not sweep any significant form of sell side liquidity here. All that we have is a gap tap, and we really just didn't sweep any sell side here to be wanting to really look for a long position. I guess if you were super bullish, then it's fine, but that comes on to my next point, where your only real target here is a data high, but this data high actually swept buy side liquidity inside of a daily bearish fair value gap. We are also just so high in premium of the range, and I thought that narrative overall was very unclear. After sweeping buy side liquidity for the second time, still respecting a high time frame bearish gap, what you honestly want to see is a rebalance. So honestly, I just did not see a reason to be longing here. Hope you guys learned something from the video, and drop a comment below and let me know how your trading day was. Here's a quick recap